What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Stardust here. Welcome to an interesting video here on the YouTube channel. Now, Glassdoor.co.uk is a website where employees can go and give reviews of a company they have worked at, so future employees who want to work at places can read those reviews. In order for me to get on this website, I had to put where I work, I had to put how much, I get paid, I had to put, where it is and everything else, and then I had to give a review on it. So let me just say that kind of legitimizes the site for me, because any review that you see here of Crystal Dynamics is going to probably be from workers there and not just disgruntled Marvel's Avengers players and other things like that. Now, I am going to read positive and negative reviews, so this would probably be a good in-depth look at how some of the people at Crystal Dynamics actually work, and hopefully this makes some conversation. Obviously, I mentioned this on Twitter that I was going to be doing this. Crystal Dynamics probably won't want this conversation out there, but I think it's very important for me to kind of, after seeing this, give the information out there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through them slowly. So, the last time this was... So, obviously, I'm on most recent. The last time was Lost. So, current employee, more than 3 years. So, the pros say the devs are great people. That's to be expected. We sort of knew the devs were pretty nice people. So, cons. Management and studio leadership seem completely lost. It's a shame to see a once great studio steadily in decline. Now, 25th of August was, of course, I believe, shortly after Wolf of Wakanda. And that's very interesting to see that. But then we also have, probably the best place I've worked at. Current employee, more than 1 year. So we're going to read all of it, obviously, because I'm not just going to focus on the negatives, because that'd be ridiculous. Pros: amazing atmosphere, great culture and awesome leads, makes you feel like a human being, not just a number in the system. I wish there was better planning and proper pre-production when there is a scope of everything that needs to be done, so it doesn't feel like we are rushing and constantly changing ideas. Now, you'll notice that a theme in these reviews is that there's a lot of time mismanagement and bad planning and changing ideas and stuff like that. So that's kind of why I found this really important, because it's not just negative and positive, but there's a common theme. So 11th of February 2021, senior animator, politics and seniority hurt the company and employee morale. So, great game studio perks like free lunch, gym memberships, etc. Cons. Now, this is very interesting, and I want people to take this with, as only one review that I have currently seen with this information in. So, don't take this as straight away fact. But for me, I have heard that there is a bit of a lads mentality at this place from other people. So, cons. Politics are a great giant part of this studio. Employee protection is trumped based on seniority and higher ups. There were multiple complaints against leads who were coming to work drunk and would take 2 to 3 hour lunch breaks. These complaints haven't been followed up with. That's pretty much what you get with the studio. Advice to management: step down from management. Obviously, one person found this review helpful. That's insane if that's true. That's disgusting, and I like... That's such a thing in the gaming industry nowadays, that you hear about people doing stuff like that, and I just kind of hope that's not happening at Crystal Dynamics, but obviously we don't know. Company review: great communication and feedback to each other, layoff and short-term contracts. Obviously, I don't want to go too deep into that stuff. So, this one's very interesting. So, toxic but comfortable. Obviously, as you see here, November 2020, shortly after Marvel's Avengers did release. But obviously, we can go back a little bit, because, Marvel's Avengers obviously being created by the company when these reviews are taking place is very important. Pros: great benefits, directors and senior staff care about employees and the safety. Cons: unorganised, lack of time management, there's that again, favouritism at play, impossible expectations, there's that again as well. So, I have, you know what I mean? It's very interesting. So this one's just a little review, but it's positive, it's very positive. This one's pretty positive. A bit sus, though, because obviously didn't give any pros or cons, so I'm not sure whether to, do that. Here we go. Best studio I've ever worked with. Very positive. Absolutely positive review. Fantastic. But again, cons. Some internal structural systems could be changed. Time mismanagement on overall project delivery. There it is again. Understand the consequences of certain decisions which can either make or break a delivery date. There it is again. You know what I mean? This one is really negative. Like, trashy place filled with trashy people. Obviously, I when it comes to these sort of reviews, obviously disgruntled employees can make it on here, but this website has quite a good reputation of having genuinely decent, like, you know, reviews and stuff like that, like, genuinely quite helpful. So I won't take this one into account too much. It's a great place to work. So here we go. Crystal is a great place to be. Lots of great talent, great HR department, good folks all round. They really do look out for you and try their best to meet and possible needs you may have. Cons. Crystal is a bit different in some areas, but honestly every company is a bit different in how they do things. Once you get past your comfort zone and actually start working with other team members, it really becomes a nice place to be. That's quite interesting. I wonder sort of what they mean by that, like coming out of your comfort zone. Advice to management. Loosen the reins a bit on having family and kids tour the studio. We have a great place to show off and we should do that. That's quite interesting. I mean, that's not relevant to the game, though. So I'm not going to I'm not going to pick at things that have nothing to do with kind of, used to be a stellar company. This is going to be an interesting one. So benefits are great and teams are talented. Cons. Some people have failed upwards. Management lets toxicity and disgruntled leadership maintain their position. Some lead shop to work under the so that's a second one then. And some don't show up at all, so that's interesting. Okay, 5 people found this review helpful, so I don't know if this is 5 people that agree with it, or just 5 people that, you know, want to work at Crystal Dynamics, went to go look at this review, and they were like, no, thank you, ma'am. You know what I mean? That's very interesting. Here we go, this would be good. Love working here. Pros, great community, awesome projects, never feels like a job coming into work. Cons, reviews are sometimes delayed. Engine could use some improvements. So for anyone who's a bit confused about that, Crystal Dynamics use something called the Foundation Engine. That thing still has like PS2 coding in it. It's a very broken, bad engine, so it doesn't surprise me that a lot of people kind of said something similar. Pretty positive review. Leadership is lost and winging it every day. Okay, this will be interesting. Pros, great perks, plenty of food, you'll never be hungry, good benefits and a great office location. Cons, leadership has no idea what it is needed to run an effective operations department. The execs are solely focused on the product and have no idea how finance, HR, IT and operations should be run. They've tried to act concerned. Well, one does more than the other, but it's very car salesman-ish rather than real concern or empathy. The other is just rude and unapproachable, which is really interesting. I wonder if that's Scott or not. Not one of the heads of the operation department are qualified, and they are lucky to be in their roles because they all lack the knowledge and experience necessary to lead those departments. There is high turnover and a ton of disgruntled employees. Many feel unsupported by their managers with no path for growth or useful feedback. Leaving this toxic environment was the best decision. Advice to management. The operations team are critical in keeping things going. Studio heads need to get to know ops and give them real support and value them. 8 people found this review helpful. Here's another positive review. Pros, company culture, employees are great, push to do excel and do your best. Senior management has really improved. They want to hear your ideas and are willing to help get the job done. Amazing benefits and perks. I've been in games for a long time and this is hands down the best studio you could work for. Cons. Like most jobs, there can be very stressful times. Some of the tools we have could be updated, but that's my opinion. Really, I don't have any cons, but thought I should write something. So obviously that's kind of talking about the engine again, which again is so interesting. So a lot of people seem to be dissing that engine. Keep being transparent with team and keep showing by example what hard work is. It's rare that you see senior management working just as hard as their employees. 5 people found this review useful. So, haphazard organisational structure, too many cooks. So there's that kind of structure issue again. It's back from 2018, but a pretty good review overall, you know. Pretty decent. So, okay, this is to be interesting. So, good experience, tough overtime, passionate people to work with, good culture, great game direction, studio direction, company transparency, lots of lots of micromanagement, lots of turnover, design ideas only get heard from the inner circle, mandatory overtime during crunch. Which is pretty interesting, which is really interesting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read one more review. Just due to the fact that, like, obviously Marvel's Avengers was in development for like the longest time. So I kind of just want to throw these ideas out there just so you all understand. Obviously, if I find more juicier reviews in this, then I can look. Because what I don't want to do is I don't want to link this website and try and give everyone like access to it, because it's like I don't want just people to spam it with reviews that aren't helpful, if you know what I mean. Quality Studio makes same mistakes. Pros: there are a lot of amazing people to work with here at Crystal Dynamics. The projects and content are usually interesting and engaging. Full-time employees have access to really great health benefits and a gym. Cons: the schedule and amount of hours needed to meet goals and deadlines were overwhelming at times. There simply aren't enough developers to get the actual work done and to qualify. Mistakes were repeated over and over again, just on different projects, i.e. long hours, lack of vision on overall project, kind of just figuring things out as we go. There was also some very poor upper management, with people working out of fear of their jobs. This caused some turnover for certain at this studio, which obviously we've seen a lot of turnover mentions in a lot of the feedback. Take better care of the people and their needs. Give developers true incentive with meaningful raises and better salaries. Intimidation in order to get what you want out of your employees needs to be replaced with better communication and understanding of each and every employee's situation. So there you go. So that's kind of like, this is the deep kind of behind the scenes look at Crystal Dynamics. Obviously there's a lot of positive ones in there, there's a lot of negative ones in there, but I think we can all agree that a common thing we keep seeing is really bad time management and maybe, you know, needing to update that engine. That's kind of like confirmation right there from anyone who's like, well, we knew that. Yeah, okay, great, but this is confirmation from actual people that have had to deal with it, you know, constantly, and I can kind of verify some of the more negative ones just from conversations that I have had. So that is the video for today. Let me know if you guys want me to kind of look deep into any other game company, maybe using this website, maybe we can review it together, and I will see you guys in a bit. Peace, and be nice to each other in the comments.